The Glass Mountain. Once upon a time, there was a village. Anyway, as I was saying, once upon a time, there was a village. And there was a glass mountain nearby this village. This village was kind of on a slope, and there was a forest around it on top of the slope. And then inside that forest was the village. And then down the slope, there was a glass mountain right here. And in fact, it was called the Glass Mountain, but it was in fact made of ice. But we're going to call it the Glass Mountain, because that's what they called it in their time. Now this was long, long ago. This story took place long ago when candles grew in the bog, as they say. And there was a little girl, and her name was Anne. And she lived with her parent in her house in the village. And the village, well, the village really loved hot chocolate. It was very rare in their time because it was an old time and before stuff happened and hot chocolate was rare. So they really valued it whenever they got hot chocolate. And there was a lot of hot chocolate inside the Glass Mountain. But as well as the hot chocolate inside the Glass Mountain was a giant who loved hot chocolate too. And it was his hot chocolate. And he owned the Glass Mountain as well. But no one ever saw the giant, and no one ever really bothered trying to take some hot chocolate. But this little girl didn't really care. Anne was all like, "Yo, Mom, I'm gonna go and get some hot chocolate." And Mom said, "No." But the little girl persevered. And that night, she went down the hill, down the slope, and down into the Glass Mountain. Although she didn't actually go inside the Glass Mountain that night, because she couldn't find the door, because it was all made of ice. Like I said, it's an ice mountain, but it's going to be called the Glass Mountain because that's what it's called. She couldn't find the door, and she spent all night finding the door, trying to find the door, sorry. And when she eventually found the door, it was almost time to wake up for everyone in the village, and she decided to go back, but now she knew where the door was for the next night. So the next night she did the exact same thing. She went down, except the difference was she knew where the door was, so she could make the most of her time. And she went inside the door, and there were two doors beside her. There's this door and this door. This door and that door. She went in that door. And in that door there was a stairs. In both doors there was a stairs, in fact, but anyway, that stairs led down to a single door again, you know, doors, whatever. And inside that door there were a bunch of crates made of just glass crates, actually. The crates were glass, but the mountain was ice. And inside one crate was a bunch of blocks of ice. Inside the other crate was a bunch of blocks of glass. Inside the other crate there was a mixture of glass and ice, just a bunch of different blocks of each thing. And in the other there was nothing. And the little girl was a bit disappointed that there was no hot chocolate. So she climbed back up the stairs, but it was extremely difficult to get back up the stairs considering they were big stairs because it was the giant's place. And by the time she got back up, it was time to go back home. So she ran back home as fast as she could, but her mother had been awake before her, and she noticed that she was gone. And her mother asked her, "Hey, Anne, where were you?" And Anne told her, "Oh, I've just been gone for a breath of fresh air. I was feeling a bit sick." So she said, you know, so her mother said, "Well, fine, I guess." And she felt a bit suspicious about things. She felt that she was maybe raiding the Glass Mountain. And she said, "I don't want you going out to that Glass Mountain because it's very dangerous and I don't allow it." But again, the next night, Anne, she just ran back down to the Glass Mountain, and she went in the other door, this door, and I believe she went in that door the last time. She went into this door this time. And she went down the stairs, again, similar stairs, but inside the door at the end of the stairs, there was the giant on his bed sleeping and snoring. She was surprised that in the village they didn't hear him from there because it was only just ice and he was big and loud. But regardless, she saw some cupboards next to the giant, and she went over to them as quietly as she could. And she opened one. There was hot chocolate. Loads and loads of big tubs, giant tubs of hot chocolate. They were normal kinds of hot chocolate, but they were still nice. She opened the next one, and it was all mint flavoured hot chocolates and caramel kind of hot chocolates, and then in the next one there were these really special hot chocolates, which was just the best, just the finest, most amazing hot chocolate ever. And she wanted to be really, really quiet, but she couldn't resist but to open up the hot chocolate box, the crack, to give it a little sniff. Yeah, and it smelled lovely because this was the special hot chocolate box, and she was like, wow, wow, wow. And the giant heard this, and he woke up. He opened one eye, then he opened the other. And then, did he spot her? No, because Anne decided that he was going to, she was going to hide inside one of the cupboards. And so she did, before the giant could turn around, and then looked around for the sound. There was no sound. He went back to sleep. So then Anne, what did he do? What did she do? She went back up the stairs with this one tub of hot chocolate, but it was a giant one, so it would do the village for a few weeks. And the next morning, they were all happy and amazed at how much hot chocolate they got, and they all celebrated with hot chocolate, and they ate hot chocolate and drank hot chocolate and made hot chocolate and did hot chocolate and hot chocolate, yes. And they thanked Anne, but this only lasted for a couple of weeks. And Anne decided, yeah, I'm going to go back down and get some more hot chocolate. And when she did that the next night, she woke the giant, and the giant spotted her. Because, see, what happened was Anne took a load more just to fill in, you know, a load of time. Sorry, what am I even saying? Because it would last longer. But Anne, she dropped one on the floor, and she couldn't do anything about it. And she went to try and reach for it and pick it back up, but no. She dropped the lot of them in order to try to pick up one, and the giant woke up and saw her. And the giant said, "What are you doing? How dare you?" And Anne said, "I really, really want hot chocolate, and we rarely get hot chocolate." And she explained that they valued hot chocolate really, really much. And what happened was the giant said, "Well, I hear that your village is good at growing stuff like carrots, and I really do like carrots. Good old carrots, you know? It's been a while since I had something other than hot chocolate." And so they made a deal, and they would trade every so often. Whenever they needed carrots, and whenever the other needed hot chocolate, they traded. And so the village prospered in hot chocolate, and the giant prospered in carrots. And what happened then? Well, after a few weeks they got a bit bored. Actually, after a few months they got a bit bored of hot chocolate. It was a bit bad, and they decided, well, we need to calm down on this a bit. We need to maybe a bit less hot chocolate now. So they decided only on special occasions, and once a week and once a month for some people. They decided in moderation was best. And that is why that is why giants eat carrots, and that was the story of the Glass Mountain, inspired by a story that my nana used to tell me when I was younger, but very different kind of. I actually can't remember exactly what it was like. Anyway, that was that. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for enjoying, thank you for being here to witness such a nice thing. Anyway, shall see you.